what do you say when you don't know what to say? Okay, before I get too far into this, because I know a rant is inevitable, it's gonna happen. First and foremost, I want to say two things. Well done to the Cincinnati Bengals. You guys played better. Simple as that. You beat us. Simple as that. Second thing, the refs were terrible tonight. On the first touchdown the Bengals scored, they called defensive pass interference on Jalen Ramsey. I think that personally was offensive pass interference. If you ask me, I don't know how you call it defensive pass interference there. Looked like Jamar Chase clearly shoved Ramsey. But I'm okay with a no call there, personally. That one I can let slide. What I cannot let slide is on the touchdown to make it 27-17. There was a blatant false start on the left tackle. Blatantly moved like half a second before the ball moved. Blatant false start. However, refs have nothing to do with the reason the Steelers lost this game. Let's get into it. Let's start with the offense first, because I have actually rather positive things to say about the offense. First and foremost, Aaron Rodgers. I genuinely thought, outside of Aaron Rodgers having one bad throw, I thought he was great tonight. He had one really bad throw where he just threw it up to Metcalf in double coverage. It was overthrown, terrible decision, double coverage, and it got picked off. Hello, Shady. At least you didn't let me down tonight. And it got picked off. He had another pick, but that wasn't really his fault. I think Metcalf should catch that ball, but it was a great play by the defender, so I can, cut him some slack there. Other than that, he played great. He was extending plays with his feet. He threw 4 touchdowns, all the tight ends, by the way, which is interesting. I thought Rodgers was great. Jaylen Warren, thank you. Thank you. I talk about you every week. May not show up on the stat sheet a lot. Showed up on the stat sheet tonight. And you were probably the best player on this offense tonight. The only guy you can really argue was better than him tonight was Pat Freiermuth. He didn't have many opportunities. I think he only had 4 catches, but half of them were touchdowns, including the long 68-yard touchdown, which was just a blown coverage there towards the end of the game. Other than that, I really don't have any complaints with the offense. I thought the offensive line was fine. Aaron Rodgers, he was extending plays a lot with his feet. I thought the offense was fine. Now let's get into why we're sitting here today. We've got a problem with this defense, man. And it's a problem that's been looming for years. There is a big difference between a good defense and a bad defense. I have a hard time saying the Steelers have a good defense. They certainly don't have a great defense. And this is the kind of game that shows why. Now, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but if the Bengals keep throwing to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, do you think it is wise to keep playing soft zone, keep letting them get catches over the middle, short catches over the middle, letting them torch us? Do you think that is wise? No. Let me ask you a different question. Do you think it is wise to not even attempt, to try and double cover Jamar Chase, who had 16 catches for like 160 yards and 2 touchdowns here tonight? Do you think it is wise to not even attempt to double cover him? No. Okay. So, someone tell me why the Steelers just let that happen. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this game, man. I'm genuinely at a loss for words. And it's not like I didn't expect this to happen. I freaking knew this would happen. Every Steelers fan knew this would happen. I said in predictions, I would not be surprised if the Bengals win this game because that's just the kind of stuff the Steelers do. And this is exactly why I can't trust this team come playoffs, because they do this. Golden opportunity to take a stranglehold on this division. Thursday night football on the road against a divisional opponent on a 4-game losing streak. So, of course, they lose. And I'm not even getting into. Ugh. Mike Tomlin, what is your approach with Thursday night football? What is your approach with short weeks? Because it needs to change. Whatever you're doing is not working. Coming into this game, the Steelers were not only 2-9 on Thursday night football with Mike Tomlin, but they were also 0-8 on the road against a divisional opponent on Thursday night football under Mike Tomlin. That's now 0-9. Something has to change with that. And there's a freaking B in. Why is there a B in here? Oh, whatever. Something has to change with your approach, your coaching style, something with Thursday night football, because it's not working. It's not working. And Terrell Austin, I have been very critical of him in the past. I have been. And I've been critical of him for a couple years now. This game is why. This game is one of the reasons why. You have the most expensive defense in football. You have stars like TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig is emerging into a star, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr. You have all these guys. Yet, the reason This defense fails time and time again. It's coaching. Uh, It's as simple as that. Terrell Austin's scheme is terrible. It's terrible. It's been terrible. This team relies on splash plays. They rely too heavily on splash plays, turnovers. And when they don't get those turnovers, unless they're playing Cleveland, for crying out loud, this is the result. This is what happens when they play a team with a somewhat competent offense and they don't get turnovers. You should all be ashamed. This entire team. Uh, if this team scores 31 points and then loses because the defense can't hold them below that, there's a problem. I should be mad at the offense right now. The defense is supposed to be great. The defense is supposed to be good. And they're just not. Guess I can talk about some other stuff. Or maybe more uplifting things. Pat Fryermuth, we haven't used him much. But we used him tonight. Hardly. He had like 4 targets. But he was definitely on the field more this time. And look, I know that the reason he hasn't gotten much play time in this offense is because he's not exactly a scheme fit. He's a vertical tight end. He's a vertical threat tight end. And both of his touchdowns came on vertical type concepts. So that's why he hasn't gotten a ton of play time as I personally would like to see. This is why you need to use him. He's a weapon. But again, the offense was not the problem. TJ Watt, for most of the game, he was invisible. He had a sack towards the end of the game. Outside of that, he didn't do much. Cam Hayward, he started picking it up towards the end of the game. Terrible. The linebackers were awful. Couldn't tackle. Corners were somehow worse. All 3 of them. Ramsey, Porter, Slay. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I forget what it is at this point. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say this. The pass rush. That should be the Steelers' bread and butter. And you know what? First quarter, they were great. They were getting after Flacco. They even had a sack on the second snap of the game. But then after that, they disappeared. And credit to the Bengals, they made adjustments. They made adjustments. The Steelers never adjusted. Never. Not once. That's why Chase had like 22 targets. But the Steelers don't adjust. They don't. And it showed in this game. The Bengals adjusted. They after that first quarter, they were then able to put up points. Took a 17-10 lead in the half after being down 10-0, and the rest is history. Just terrible. But hey, I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I guess I don't really have much else to say about this game. Just an all around deflating performance by this team, and they should be ashamed. Next week, you head into Green Bay. I think it's on the road. I think it's on the road. Either way, you play Green Bay next week, and you know what? They're probably going to win that game. They're probably going to win that game because that's what the Steelers do. They lose a game that they really shouldn't lose, and then they end up beating a team that they shouldn't. Actually, no, that Packers game is at home. They'll probably end up winning it because that's what this team does, man. But either way, it's not going to be an easy game. This should have been an easy game. Easy enough game for you to win. And defense stunk. Anyways, I guess I'm done yelling at this team, even though I didn't yell. Mainly because people are asleep. Just terrible. But I can't say I'm surprised. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.